Hey friends, this is Gerald and welcome back to another video. So today we're gonna do a deep dive into what are some of the best cryptocurrency exchanges in October 2021 for different scenarios. Like if you're a small time investor, you just want to invest a couple of hundreds, maybe $1,000 each time, or you're a whale, you want to invest like $1 million. Where do you go? Or you want to cash out. Do you cash out through Xfirst, bank transfer, peer-to-peer? Which platforms are the best for these? And we're also going to talk about other things such as what is the most insured or quote-unquote safest exchange to use right now. All that coming right up. So first up, I want to give a very quick shout out to Crypto Mining Community Singapore. Why? Because they helped me give me insights as to what are some of the exchanges to use, because frankly there's no way I would have used all the exchanges. So I'm going to show you, like, this is the research I've got. I wanted to do like a very simple, like, talk over the spreadsheet, but I couldn't because it's just too long, too wide. There's like 19 different exchanges here. And I also want to give a special shout out to our own Discord community, because they also gave me insights to like FTX. So really fantastic community. Links to both of them in the description below. And next up, I'm going to talk about this spreadsheet over here. So we're going to do this Adam Khoo style, put like a PowerPoint slide and then just talk over the PowerPoint slide. Okay, so for this, I'm going to make this crypto exchange list public so you can access it and read all the details you want. You can even comment, give me your experience, then I can make this spreadsheet a lot better, because most of them are based on reviews I read online, desktop research, so information is probably outdated for some and irrelevant or wrong for some, because online people can say anything, everyone can have their own opinion. So without further ado, let's begin. Oh yeah, so one last thing. For all these exchanges, right, I'm going to leave the links to them on the exchange itself, so you can see all of them are hyperlinked. All you need to do is just click on them. It will support this channel, or check them out in the description below. Alright, so let's move on to the slides. So what we're going to talk about today, I've covered all that right now. Okay, so let's first start with what's popular in Singapore. So it's interesting, like in Singapore, when I talk to people in my Discord group in the mining community, because I buy cryptos by the way, so the most popular exchanges are like your Binance, Crypto.com, CoinHako, or FTX. It's only recently, after the big news for Binance, I started to hear other exchanges like OKEX or OKX, as well as 4P. Yeah, so just give you an insight to what's around in Singapore. However, when I dig deeper, right, I dig deeper to try to find other exchanges. There's like 20, even more exchanges in Singapore that there's quite a number of people that actually use, but we just don't talk about them. Why? Because the rates are not good? We'll see. Okay, so let's start with the Binance.com Singapore update. So a couple months back, I think 2 months ago, MAS, which is our central bank, placed Binance.com under the Singapore Investor Alert list. So this quickly led to Binance removing the app from the App Store. They also removed SGD from the peer-to-peer. And they announced that subsequently they will be removing fiat deposit services, spot trading of cryptocurrencies, and liquid swap. So you can swap through the liquid swap or through their trading platform. And they also specifically advise all of us to cease all trades and withdraw all our fiat and tokens by Wednesday, 26 October, 12 noon. Then they asked us to go and visit Binance.sg, but when you look at Binance.sg, you would see that there's literally only like 7 tokens, I think, and there's no other financial functions. It's nowhere near like Binance.com. So they kind of added a line to comfort people that needed to use Binance.sg. Hey friend, don't worry, Binance.sg may expect more product releases in the future. So a lot of people didn't actually move over to Binance.sg. Hopefully they ramp it up. I am looking forward to that if they do. But here's what a lot of people don't know. So when I read the papers, right, apparently banks have also stepped up their regulatory measures against some of the crypto or high alert cryptocurrency exchanges. For example, Citibank took the step to block cryptocurrency related credit and debit transactions in Singapore, and the other local banks also said that they have measures in place to block risky transactions, and that's like DBS. And all these this last 2 statement was taken from Straits Times. So this is where I got them. So yeah, here's the news update from them. Here's the Straits Times news. And now let's talk about what's available, right? Because you want to live dangerously on the edge. So just bear in mind, this is dangerous, so try at your own risk. I recommend not to. But if you want to continue using Binance.com, let's see what's available. So accounts will not be closed. That means we can log in. The access to the website will stay. Crypto deposits and withdrawals seems like it will work. So then the question is, how do you cash out? Looks like what I found is that we can do a peer-to-peer withdrawal in Brunei dollars, because Singapore and Brunei, we have one-for-one, treaty. So then if we quote-unquote pass us Sing and we pay them in fiat, and then they claim that they withdraw under Brunei, apparently that works. Okay, so now let's go to the main bulk of the video, which is the best crypto exchanges. So okay, it's a very, very massive sheet. So I'm going to talk very quickly about how do you actually read the sheet and what to look out for. Again, I'm going to disclaim that I have not used all of the exchanges, so all of this is based on feedback and opinions I've gathered from my crypto mining community, as well as my own Discord group and online. So feel free to comment on the public sheet to make it better. And now let's talk about like your foreign exchange tips. How do you get the best spot rate in general? Because it's hard to give a very specific recommendation of, hey, this is the best exchange for the best spot rate. Because number one, when you buy, you want to buy cryptocurrencies cheap, but when you sell, you want to sell it at a very high price. And you can see the irony here. If you want to buy low, you sell high, same platform, kind of probably won't work. That's already the first irony. The second irony is that because the exchanges always move up and down, and it depends on the whales that are buying and selling in the day. Whales are like your big buyers, right? So if someone decides to buy a lot of stuff on Binance, then sometimes Binance prices can actually be higher than other places. Yeah, so just bear in mind that the rate is always changing, so it's hard to recommend one single exchange. So what I do is I just stick to one, and I don't really care too much about the little spread, because I don't trade cryptocurrencies regularly. So just bear that in mind. So then when you head over to my sheet, which is really massive, I'm just going to show you over here. I'm going to show you, I'll teach you, I'll explain to you how do you actually read some of the stuff. I think the most confused part is how do you actually read the trading fees. Like, when you go to any website or exchange, the trading fees is very confusing. So let's talk about them very briefly, right? So the first thing you need to note is that there is bulk order discount. So if you buy in bulk, you get a lot of discounts. Like for example, this is Binance.com's fee page. So VIP 0, VIP 1, the rates are different. You can see the rates kind of go down as you buy more. So trade volume 50 Bitcoin, you just need to Google 50 Bitcoin to US dollars or Singapore dollars. For this, it's around $2 million in trading volume in the past 30 days, just to go up to VIP tier number 1. And which is very important thing, and you also need to hold 50 BNB in your wallet. That's about 20,000 US dollars. So this is just bulk order discount, and also like some of the exchanges, they have other requirements like a staking, or you required to invest in their native currency to support them basically in order to enjoy the discount. Yeah, so the next thing you will be very confused with is this maker taker kind of stuff. And if you look carefully, makers always have or tend to have like a lower price compared to takers. So what does this all mean, and how do you even qualify for maker? So this is with regards to the advanced trading function. So if you set limit orders, which is like I only am willing to buy at this particular price, instead of saying I want to buy at whatever market price is out there. So if you do like an instant swap, instant market order swap, this means you are a taker. If you set a limit order, you are essentially a maker, because what you do is you help support and provide liquidity in the market if you set like a limited price that you're willing to pay for or sell at. So therefore, the exchanges give you a discount for that on top of the VIP tier. So just bear that in mind when you're making the trades. Okay, so then the next important thing to look out for is liquidity, because I think this is often missed out when people talk about the different exchanges. Liquidity is really important if you want to trade frequently, you want to get out fast. At the same time, you're looking at spreads, right? So spreads basically mean that if there's a lot of buyer and seller, then the price people buy and sell at is very near each other. If there's very few buyers and sellers, the prices can be very far apart. And if you're trying to sell or buy, you get a very bad rate if there's not many people selling. And there are some exchanges which has literally very little liquidity. You're looking like $50,000 traded amongst the entire exchange, all the different coins added together for the entire day. That's how poor some of the exchanges are. So now I'm going to very quickly share with you a pro tip on how you can check the FX rates for some of the coins, so that you know if you really want to sell at the highest possible spreads, here's what you can do. So I use CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. Just going to swap over. So very quickly, you go to the top, you go to the top right hand corner, you type, you know, BTC. Same thing for here, just go to search and just type it. And when it refreshes, you can see in this case it's Bitcoin. Scroll all the way to the bottom. Wait for it to load. So in this case, I didn't refresh this so that I can save some time. And then you would see all the different, I mean, it's not all, you can see all, but here are some of the exchanges, and you can see the prices that are listed over here. So from here, very quickly, you can see that if I want to buy Bitcoin, I want to buy at the cheapest price. The cheapest place would be Gate.io, and if I want to sell, then I want to sell at the highest possible price, and it would be Coinbase Exchange. So you see, it's kind of different already. So that's a very quick pro tip if you want to look at different FX rates. Okay, so very quickly, let's look at the cheapest ways to buy cryptocurrencies right now. Okay, so what are some of the criteria I look out for? So low cryptocurrency price, because I want to buy crypto cheap. Good liquidity, so that I don't affect the market and I can actually buy it fast. Good number of coins, especially those rarer coins like Cardano, which is not exactly rare, but you'd be surprised a lot of exchanges don't support it. Low deposit fees, because if you pay like 1% fee to just deposit your money, that's crazy, and 5% to take it out, expensive. Then another thing to look out for is also fast deposits. Like for example, exchanges with peer-to-peer, I like, because peer-to-peer is like 15 minutes to get my money in, but it's also not so secure. So there are exchanges that I listed which are more secure, because bank transfers are a lot more secure. Because peer-to-peer, there's a lot of risk of like getting your account frozen, bank account frozen by the police, or scam if you're not careful with your peer-to-peer exchange. So let's look at the cheapest ways to buy, right? So based on this, Binance seems to be one of the best in terms of peer-to-peer, but Binance is banned in Singapore, so just take that out of the picture. Then the next two peer-to-peer exchanges would be Huobi and OKX. But when I look at the numbers, right, Huobi is so much better than OKEX. And here's why. You see, when here's Huobi, right, and you look at the number of exchanges. So this guy has transacted like 38 times, right? Then go back, sell, and go to the second guy. You can see this guy transacted 3,000 times on Huobi, and you can see the success rate, you know, 86% complete. Whereas you go over to OKEX, you want to sell Singapore dollars, cash out, right? You see this guy has 0 orders, nothing completed, 3 orders at 50% completion rate. So this is kind of what makes me scared to deal with these people. So just bear in mind, even though I stated OKEX, it's not that fantastic. So then let's talk about FTX. FTX, I think the fund transfer is fantastic. Based on what I know, it's free, but I'm not sure how good their conversion rate from Singapore dollar to US dollars or to buy cryptocurrency. So just take that with a pinch of salt. And then there's crypto.com exchange, which I personally use. If you use DBS to transfer you in USDC, it's very fast. I think within an hour I got my money in. Hour or two, I got my money in, and it works. It's like 1-for-1 exchange. Then let's talk about XFirst, right? XFirst is Singapore specific payment method, so that provides, you know, a bridge. And XFirst usually charge a fee like 0.55 cents. And of all of them, I think one that really stands out is Binance.sg, because when you buy cryptos from Binance.sg, it's like super cheap. It's like, I think it's the cheapest amongst all the different XFirst exchange as far as I know. But bear in mind, XFirst only has like 7 different coins that you can buy, and it's not clear how liquid the market is. So if you buy like $20,000, you really don't know what rates you can get, because it's like a direct swap and not like a complicated, you know, market order kind of book. So the next one that I found really interesting is Luno, because XFirst deposit free, XFirst withdrawal free, but liquidity is really low. So if you go over to the sheet, let me see if I added it. Yeah, so I added in over here. You can see Luno only has $300,000 on transaction volume. I think it's per day, and this is divided by 6 coins. If it's per year, that's scary, because that means $50,000 worth of each coin swap hands, and some coins are more popular than others. So if you buy coins that are not as popular, you're looking at like $20,000 swapping hands per day. And if you buy $10,000, you're going to move the price of the coin you want to buy a lot. So that means poor rates. So just bear that in mind. FTX, Huobi, OKX don't support XFirst. And another thing to look out for is also the bank withdrawal cost, because you put money in, you want to make sure you can get money out cheap. So unless you want to swap to another exchange, which is fees, bank withdrawal is probably one of the ways you look at. So independent reserve is good, but $20. I'm not sure if you can do X first withdrawal for independent reserve. If you can confirm, let me know. Luno, free, everything free, but I'm not sure if there's any catch. Yeah, FTX expensive unless you are a whale, or you can withdraw like tens of thousands every single time. All right, so now let's look at the best place to stake, because when you buy cryptocurrencies, you don't just want to buy, at least for me, I want to buy and stake to earn and grow my cryptocurrencies, right? So that's why I grouped this together. Personally, I prefer alternative platforms. My number one platform is yield farming on decentralized finance, like my auto farm. That's like 30% to 50%, as much as 70% sometimes, to stake my bitcoins, like your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, for like 30-50% yield. So for lending platforms, I think this is very popular amongst Singaporeans, as well as people who are not so trusting on the decentralized finance space because you're worried of hacks. So I think number one, hold not. If I'm not wrong, the interest rate is the highest. If not, then there's Celsius, Nexus, BlockFi. Do research on that. I'm going to talk about that in the next video. And if you want to check them out, I'm going to leave the referral links below. This channel gets a small kickback. If you want to look at specific exchanges, so you want to just do everything in one place, Binance SG was very extensive in the amount of finance functions you can do to save and earn free interest rates off your cryptos, but it's gone. KuCoin also banned in Singapore. So Binance, KuCoin both banned in Singapore. Then there is Huobi and OKEX. This is the two next best options, right? But bear in mind, Huobi and OKEX, they seem to be, and I don't think they applied for the PSA license within Singapore. So if there's any troubles there's going to befall on the next few exchanges, this two looks like the next two likely platforms to be in trouble. Then that leaves me with Crypto.com, which is kind of good, but not very extensive compared to the rest of the exchange. One other very important consideration is that when you look at the number of coins that's available, right? Like some of the platforms, they list a lot of coins. Just bear in mind there's a lot of caveats to it. You would learn with experiences that there are a lot of pitfalls to looking at just pure number of coins. Like some exchanges have 900 coins that they support, but there's a lot of traps to it. So I'm going to talk about them like in a second. So it's best to look at exchanges that support your specific coin. Like for example, if you want to buy Cardano, which I'm very bullish on, Cardano is not available on Gemini. So bear in mind, it might be added, but I don't think they added it yet. And Cardano is a very popular coin, even though it's not supported on Gemini, which has a lot of token support, by the way. And another thing to look out for is also fiat to crypto support. Some people, if you want to deposit Singapore dollars, you want to be able to buy cryptos with Singapore dollars. If not, that means you need to transfer from Singapore dollars to an intermediate crypto like USDC, then use USDC to buy the coin. Then that means you have to pay 2 fees. That's one. Another thing to look out for is crypto to crypto transactions. So if you want to cash out, then you want to make sure that you can actually sell the cryptos for another crypto, rather than having to swap to fiat and then use fiat to buy the other crypto, because that's an additional fee. So these are considerations you want to think of before you choose your exchange. And also, very importantly, can they be withdrawn? If you buy the crypto and you can't take the crypto out, that means you need to sell the fiat, withdraw the fiat, deposit the fiat elsewhere, then buy cryptos elsewhere. So a lot of things to think about before you get quote-unquote trapped into it. So here are some of the issues I face. CoinHako, I realized that there's quite a fair bit of coins actually that you cannot withdraw. Like for example, Polygon, the Matic token, you can't withdraw it, but you can buy it. So that's a trap. Crypto.com Xverse is another very big trap. They only support 8 coins. So if you deposit Singapore dollars, you can only buy 8 coins with your Singapore dollars. So you need to buy one of the coins and then use, like for example, Crow, to then buy the particular coin you want to buy. So that's one thing you want to bear in mind. So the workaround for Crypto.com is just to transfer to the exchange, Crypto.com exchange, through the bank transfer. So then you get US dollars. Yeah, so that's how you can avoid. For Gate.io, they list a crazy amount of coins. If you look at it, it's like 935 coins. Boom! But a lot of coins cannot be traded within like a specific region. Like in my experience, it's really ridiculous. So I actually mine Chia, and I used Gate.io in the beginning. So I could deposit my Chia coin in, and I could sell out. And a couple of weeks later, I couldn't sell out. I can't even find it in Gate.io anymore. So I spoke to the customer service. They said, "Oh, Singaporeans can't sell Chia." And I was like, "What?" So I can deposit, and I couldn't sell. And that was just like within a couple of weeks. And funny thing was that there was a workaround by using their app. But basically I got stabbed without any notification, emails, nothing. So then that left me with like 2 different coins, the partially swapped USDC as well as Chia. Needed to take both of them out. Minimum fees was like $20 each. So $40 fees just to take it out elsewhere to swap it. It's just a lot of fees, unnecessary fees that I got trapped in. So just bear in mind to research the exchange carefully before you get started. Alright, next point. Some people like to pay with cards. I'm not a fan of it because card incurs fees, and fees just is bad if you want to invest. So if you want to use your card, do double check the rates, because most platforms say they don't charge, they only leave it to your bank provider, and then some platforms say like a range. So Gate.io seems to be the cheapest at 2% on average. Huobi is the second cheapest at 2.25. FTX, they say credit card, they don't charge anything except your credit card provider. So by that logic, debit card should be free, right? So do double check. Then CoinHako is good because you can use GrabPay, which is 2.5% fixed. Yeah, so just that's one thing to look out for. So now let's head over to the opposite end of the spectrum, which is like the best way to cash out. So Binance peer-to-peer is my go-to. Good spot rate, good liquidity, but it's not available. Then my next go-to platform to cash out is Huobi. And why do I like peer-to-peer? Because I always cash out in small sums because I mine cryptocurrencies, and I cash out like $50, $100, $200 at one go. Not a huge amount of money. So peer-to-peer is good because I can avoid like the huge bank transfer fee. FTX looks very interesting if you know you are bigger, like some withdrawals, like over $10,000 free. Otherwise you need to pay $75, which is insanely expensive. So Gemini, I really like Gemini for its rates, because Gemini, when you want to buy cryptocurrencies on Gemini, it's insanely expensive, but when you sell, it's insanely expensive, which is good. So I like Gemini for that. They also don't seem to have stated cost for bank withdrawal. So my guess is that it's free, but double check, because I think when it's free, it's too good to be true, you know, raises some eyebrows. So just check out Gemini. And there's also some customer service issues when it comes to Gemini, so just bear that in mind as well. So tokenized exchange, bank withdrawal fee is free, but may have $100 admin if you withdraw less than $2,000. Kraken seems to be one of the cheapest for bank transfer. It's like $4. It's just insanely cheap. Okay, so now let's talk about best way to cash out with X1st, because X1st is quote unquote likely means that they applied for PSA and they're more regulated, right? So Luno seems to be number one, free X1st withdrawal, but bear in mind low liquidity, and do double check, because when I see free, I'm just very worried, because X1st always charges money. Next cheapest would be your Crypto.com app at 0.4% X1st fee, but there's a limit to only these 8 cryptocurrencies. That's first. And secondly, even though cryptocurrency trading on the app is free, they charge a spread. So the pro tip is to, like, you know, do in small transactions like $20, or $10 or $5 instead of like $20,000 in one shot. So I made a video about all the things to look out for when trading on crypto.com. So I'm going to leave that link over here. But just bear in mind there's a spread, so it may not be that cheap after all. So Independent Reserve and Binance.sg is like the second two, the other two recommended platforms. But Binance.sg, the coins are like super cheap. So that means you also sell cheap. So just take that with a pinch of salt. So problematic exchanges is what comes to mind when it comes to cashing out, because it's very scary when you try to take your money out and then the money doesn't come out within a week. You're like, is my money out? Is it gone? Is it stolen? And there's no updates. You can't reach anyone. The bank says nothing, and you just panic. You know, you get scared. So bear in mind, all these most of them came from reviews I came across when researching online about the pricing and all, and then all these negative reviews pop up. So I'm just going to list them here so that you know. A lot of them are not from my personal experiences. I will state if I have personal experiences. The most prominent one is your Liquid Exchange, which had $94 million hacked, and I think the users didn't get their money back. And this was in 19 August 2021. That's like 2 months ago. The next one that really stands out is your Gemini, which has frozen accounts. So like people reported that their accounts randomly got frozen and they couldn't reach customer service. Depositing also takes a very long time, weeks, and they also can't contact customer service. CoinHako is the reverse. Customer service can't really be reached, and withdrawal is a real nightmare. So CoinHako, yeah, I read that if you withdraw more than $200, it can take even up to a month and you haven't seen your money. So just bear that in mind. And another thing I just wanted to point out again is your Gate.io's $935 supported coins. So they are partially supported. Maybe can, you know, deposit but cannot withdraw, or can deposit but cannot sell, things of that sort. Another thing to take note of for traders especially is that if you use FTX exchange, there is this problem of stop loss slip ups. Apparently it doesn't happen on Binance, but FTX trading, the stop loss always will slip. Yeah, so then let's talk about the safest exchange, because there's a lot of problems. Let's look at the safest exchange, right? Okay, so what do I look out for when it comes to safe exchanges? Good regulatory standing approvals, especially with Singapore, because I am Singaporean, so there's a bias there. And I'm also going to look at high levels of insurance, because insurance is protective of your money. If the crypto exchange gets hacked and they insure me, then I'm not scared. I like the exchange. And if you have to keep your seed phrase, it's very scary. What if you lose your seed phrase, the paper fade after like a year, things of that sort, you get scared. But when it comes to exchange, problems to them. But not your keys, not the crypto. Very famous line, so just take that with a pinch of salt. I'm also going to look at exchanges that are unaffected by China's cryptocurrency ban, because China has a big ban on cryptocurrencies. And I'm also going to look at companies that are not likely or able to kind of avoid or be in good standing with Singapore's MAS, right? So note that insurance doesn't cover personal negligence. So if you didn't set like 2FA and then you gave your password out online and someone hacked in your account, your own personal account, insurance doesn't cover all those. So ideally, insurance have different kinds, right? If the best kind is their own insurance fund, meaning the crypto exchange set aside like a pool of funds, like they call their own insurance fund. So that means that they have the cash on hand set aside within the exchange. That's the best kind of insurance. The second best kind is they buy like an insurance policy. So it's not as good because insurers can go bankrupt. But if they set aside those cryptos within the exchange, then those insurance funds are like a guaranteed the money is there, right? But the problem is that it's kind of dynamic. Okay, so here are some of the big updates. Within Singapore, there's only 2 exchanges that are approved in terms of the Payment Services Act, like full license. This happened yesterday, which is 1st of October. So the 2 that got the approval, number 1 is your Australian cryptocurrency exchange Independent Reserve. Number 2, DBS Vickers, which is not an exchange yet. So I'm very excited to see what happens when DBS is out. So I'm going to list it over there as notable mentions. So the number 1 quote-unquote safest reserve will be Independent Reserve, because they have the full license, but they don't have insurance for your regular users unless you are their premium user. I try to research how do you get and become a premium user. They don't talk about it online. So my suspicion is that premium, to be a premium user, it's discretionary pricing. Depending on certain situation, they charge differently. That's why they don't list the price online. So if I can be a premium member, then I would definitely think that Independent Reserve is the safest exchange. The second most safest exchange, in my personal opinion, is Crypto.com, because they are the most heavily insured, with $750 million of insurance. And if you deposit US dollars, you have FDIC insurance of up to 250K for the US dollars, because it's kept in a bank. But one negative point to note is that their headquarters is in Hong Kong, but they also have a second office in Singapore. So that's just a small minus regulatory hurdle that I see over there. Other than that, super high insurance. I like it. Makes me feel safe. Gemini and FTX is like the next 2 on the list, with like over $200 million worth of insurance. FTX slightly better because it's an insurance fund. Other notable mention is your Huobi, ZipMax, tokenized AAX. AAX is, they don't have insurance, but they are PXA exempt. Huobi, ZipMax, tokenized exchange, they have insurance, but I think I can't find whether they are PSA exempt. So if Singapore starts to crack down on more exchanges, these 3 could be the next ones to go. So then when we already talk about safe exchanges, we also talk about friendly, beginner-friendly exchanges. So I think about my uncle, right? If I were to teach my non-tech savvy uncle to invest in cryptocurrencies, which other platforms I would recommend? Ironically, I think CoinHaku is kind of good because you can buy a lot of different cryptocurrencies and they have SGD fast transfer. Because Xfirst, a lot of problems and a lot of steps to do Xfirst transfers. Verification is a real nightmare. At least for me, it took me 3 months to verify. Problem. My mom also had a lot of problems with Xfirst. So SGD fast transfer, thumbs up. Direct from SGD to the cryptocurrencies, another thumbs up. But then again, customer service, not so good. So problem there. Crypto.com is my other very recommended platform because it's kind of easy to use the Crypto.com app. But it's messy because there's a lot of wallets to take note of. So it can get confusing if you're not very tech savvy. Luno app I think is good, but I haven't tried it. I've only seen pictures of it, so I don't know, but I think it's good. Binance SG and Independent Reserve, in terms of the browser, it's really easy to buy your crypto. Just deposit SGD and just buy, done. So that's why I put them as beginner friendly exchanges. So when you talk about beginner friendly, you also want to talk about good customer service. So in this case, 3 really stands out: Crypto.com app, Binance.com, the platform, as well as Gate.io, because Binance.com instant live chat is really fast, by the way. A lot of problems, but the customer support is really fast. I had problems with the Visa card, I had problems with the staking, I had problems with the staking in the wrong wallet, crypto card, they printed the wrong name on my card, yeah, things of that sort. All of them, within 10 minutes someone would have responded to me. So really good customer service on Crypto.com, even despite the fact that the platform is very overwhelmingly messy. So thumbs up for that. Binance.com, taking this is great, but a lot of people said that they had problems with it, but I think that's Binance.us, not Binance.com. Gate.io, customer service responded fast, but they didn't solve my problem at all. When I told them my chair couldn't be sold, but it could be sold 2 weeks back, they said, yeah, your region's banned. Yeah, that was just bad. So on the other hand, notable mentions for bad or poor customer experience is Gemini, CoinHako, and Binance.sg, out of which these two are, online reviews. Binance.sg is my own personal experience. They replied kind of slow, a couple of days to reply, and they didn't solve my problem. So I had problems with experts. It took 3 months to work with experts to solve the problem. Really long. I'm not sure if it's experts for or Binance.sg, but in my opinion, not very good service already. Now let's talk about professional exchange, like for professional traders, right? So in my opinion, I'm not a professional I'm not a professional trader, so I don't know which is the best. But based on what my couple of friends have shared with me, Binance is number 1, then FTX is good, but there is stop loss slip ups. Then I listed the rest, which has very good liquidity and very low fees. So immediately the ones that stand out is OKEX and Huobi, but not PSA approved. So if you're Singaporeans, then you might want to look into the other exchanges like FTX, Crypto.com, or Coinbase Pro. But fees are a little bit higher though. Yeah, so just bear that in mind. Then now over to the last bit when we conclude my favorite top platforms. So I look at good rates and flexibility all in one place. My number 1 pick, to be honest, seriously, is Binance.com. But bye Binance, because Singapore government don't like you. So I hope Binance SG can match up to Binance.com. If they can, that would be awesome. If not, my next go-to place would be Huobi, because it has peer-to-peer withdrawals, it's staking of a lot of altcoins, and I can send to DeFi at a relatively cheap price. Without that, I would think Crypto.com would be my 3rd preferred place. I don't really keep my money in the exchange. I mostly keep them in my DeFi wallet. So that's why I probably use Crypto.com as like intermediary to move cash through. But I must say though, I really love their instant cashback card. It's like 3% cashback instantaneously when you spend money, and Crypto.com makes me feel really safe, like based on the amount of insurance they have, the approvals they try to get. So I really feel safe with Crypto.com. But I must admit, the rate's really not so good. When it comes to FTX, I would think that I would adopt FTX if I become a lot richer, like I can withdraw 10,000, like it's nothing. Then yeah, FTX would be my go-to instead of Crypto.com or Huobi. But as of now, Huobi and Crypto.com, they are my 2 other go-to platforms. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe for a cookie. And remember I said something about staking, right? Earnings, and I use other platforms. If you want me to talk about that, well, I'm going to talk about that in my next video. I'm going to list them over here. Or if not, check out what YouTube recommends you over here. And be sure to join my WhatsApp. Sorry, not WhatsApp. Be sure to join my what's the group? I forgot. Check out in the description below. Take care and stay safe, everyone.